Hey guys, what's up? It is Pastor Todd with your 2-minute devotion for today. And today we're going to be back in Joshua. But this week we're going to be in Joshua chapter 6. And I love Joshua chapter 6 because the people of Israel are finally making it to the promised land. Remember that? Remember that God promised them this land way back when they were still enslaved in Egypt and they had to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. And then Moses died, Joshua took over, and then Joshua had to lead them through the Jordan. And now they're finally here. And as we know, the promised land already had a city on it, the city of Jericho. And what I love is this interchange between God and Joshua as they're walking up to Jericho. Now, I want you to just picture this, get a good mental picture of this. So the city of Jericho was a huge fortified city. What that means is it had this tremendous wall all the way around it. And we've already seen in chapter 2 that the wall was so big that people lived in it. Rahab and her family just lived in a small part, but many other people lived in this wall. It was huge. And you've probably seen in movies where the castle has like this big wall around it and they can draw up the drawbridge. Well, in the case of Jericho, it probably wasn't a drawbridge. It was probably gates, but they could still seal the gates. And then people could stand up on top of the wall and like throw stuff down at people trying to get in. And that's what would have happened in the case of Jericho. So it was almost impossible for this small Israelite army to go take this massive city of Jericho. Yet as they're walking up, God tells Joshua, he says, see, the city of Jericho, I've already given it to you. And now if I'm Joshua, I'm like, you gave it to us. There's still this huge wall around it and there's an army and what are you talking about? But see, there's two things we catch in that. Number one, God always keeps his promises. God promised them way back in Egypt they would have this land, and he's saying, see, we're here, and I'm going to give it to you. But the other thing is he's saying it's already in your hands because I've already decided I'm going to give it to you, and my will always happen. So what we have to remember is faith is not having all the answers. Faith is following the one who has all the answers. Faith doesn't mean we have everything we need when we start our journey, but faith is knowing that God will provide what he promised to provide because God always keeps his promises. I like to say faith is trusting God more than our five senses. Faith is trusting God more than what we see, hear, smell, taste, feel, or think, right? Sometimes we think if I can't think it or if I can't see it or if it doesn't feel right to me, it can't happen. But that's not faith. That's trusting yourself. When you do that, you're putting yourself in the spot of God. But faith is saying, you know what? It's beyond me. But then again, so is God. So I'm going to trust he's going to do what he promised he's going to do. And I trust that he is bigger, stronger, smarter, and better than any wall, anything I will ever come against. So I know I can trust him. So I love this, honestly, I'm being honest. If this was me and God said, hey, there's city of Jericho, I've already handed it to you. I'm be like, no, you didn't. It's still got a wall. But Joshua, that's why Joshua's awesome. Joshua's like, all right, cool. I know you're going to do it. And then he goes and does what God tells him to do. And we're going to start seeing that a little bit more tomorrow. So guys, I pray and hope you have an awesome week. Live by faith, trusting God, knowing that God will give you what you need exactly when you need it. We miss you. We love you. We'll see you soon. Peace out.